Welcome back. This video tutorial is for Kreisler's Praeludium and Allegro in the style of Pugnani. In this video we will explore how to work on this piece from scratch, as well as how to improve some of the sections, and of course, as always, at the end I'm going to give you some pro tips on how to improve this piece to a performance level. But first, let's listen to this beautiful piece. exciting piece to play. It's a very also beautiful piece to listen to, and I think Kreisler really got that style of Pugnani, and he turned it with this romantic twist that he always does. Now, this piece is in two sections. The first section is a Preludium, which is basically just arpeggios on different chord progressions, and it's all very simple in terms of rhythm as well. It's all crotchets. Now, you would have heard me playing, and also probably if you heard many other interpretations of this, that everybody has their own personal way of playing this piece, especially the Preludium, as it's quite free. It's not a cadenza, it's not 100% free, but there is definitely a lot of rubato, a lot of freedom in playing with the tempo. So I would like you to listen to different versions of it and then make up your own mind on how you want to play it. But obviously, always need to follow the harmonies to know which bits you need to pull a bit more and which bits you need to keep as steady as possible. There's also quite a few shifts that we need to look at, especially going into fourth position. That comes quite a few times in the piece, so it's important that we get that. Use vibrato like in accents. So a little bit more of vibrato at the beginning of the note will give that extra excitement as well. The middle section of the Preludium, again, it's very free. And it's got the exploration of each chord that the piano plays, and on the violin we just kind of decide how we want to interpret those bits. Allegro, because it's obviously technically more difficult. We've got the first section that keeps coming back. The one thing I would say is lift and keep it quite off the string, to then on the string. Make sure that that's really in tune, that B major. It's really important to get that in tune. Now, next bits, for intonation purposes, do it as chord or double stops. And I will keep it in 3 strings always, even the beginning. You could do it in 1 string or 2 strings, but it's better to keep it always the same way, because then we always practice in the same bow stroke. It's some sort of spiccato in different strings, and we feel it in the fingers, but it actually comes from the hand. So it's just the fingers are going to help you to direct which string are we playing. If you haven't done the Shepshik Opus 3, I would recommend you to do that first, or at the same time as this, to really work on this kind of off-string bow strokes. If you're not familiar with it, I'll give you a link in the description and also at the top of the video where you can find my tutorials on Shepshik and also where you can find the music. So this section explores this, and then on the string. Again. This is this section. Now we're going to move to the next section, the double stops one. This is possibly the most difficult one to start learning, so I would definitely work on this from the very beginning. Finding the intonation, those fourths, perfect fourths. Then we move the second finger across across again 2-2. Make sure the second finger is on both strings equally and it sounds like a fifth and not out of tune. Back. Now we have a B constantly. First with the second finger and then third finger. So that is something we need to keep checking. Then D, tune the E with the D, across. Very important that this is in tune, because it will be very obvious if it's not. Cross. Again, that's C natural with the E, not too low. Second position. Why second position? I find it easier to do those fifths. First. Or you could stay in second, because then this will also be the same fingering. I don't know if you notice I am doing it legato, so that we can really hear the notes. Same fingerings. So if you get the fingerings the first time, it's just applying it in different positions and different chord sequences. Same as before. Across. And then continue. Again, that B, it needs to be a little bit higher to be in tune with the E. I go up in fourth position here. I find it easier. Many different ways. Next section is not particularly difficult, but we need to check the intonation as we go up. So I'm going to play it slowly. Second position, third, fourth, and then I go down to first position. Same thing in piano, and then we go the ending of the second one. Now this is different. First time we have, well, the second time will be, it's a different combination of the same notes. So the first time, what I like about this piece is that even when you're playing slowly, it's so beautiful and it's so enjoyable to just listen to each interval. Like the next bit, for example. So that again is a chord sequence that it just goes one chord after the other in a beautiful way back to E minor. I would just do it slowly a few times just to check the intonation. Let's jump to the next section. Trills, always very quick, precise, especially on the way out. So like if it was burning. Now, like you can see, it's spiccato. But when you practice it, do it first on the string. Now this section is basically the cadenza section, and I have had an opportunity in the past, a few years ago, to do a tutorial on this section, so if you haven't watched it, that's another good one to do. But this can be one of the most confusing sections to learn, because it seems to be quite out of time, with the piano just doing a tremolo at the very bottom of B's. But again, if you do it very slowly, the way it's written is it's in 4, but it's 3s. That's the way it's written, but in 4. That's why it creates that different rhythm to this section. Again. And this is just the same thing, just build up. 3. Shift. 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 First finger. I personally go 3, 2, 1. So we shift on the way down. I'll do that bit again. Go down. 3. Same fingers. Shift down. Go shift down. Shift down. Shift down. Then we go up. Chromatic. The chromatic goes down, but then the sequence goes up. Up. And that's the end of this section. If you want some extra help on that, I'll put the video link for the other tutorial. And the same thing with the chords. First we need to tune them. So those first chords are not the most difficult ones, but always tune to the B and the E, whatever it is. Always tune to those ones. For the chords themselves, the way to play them, if we have really flexible fingers, really soft bow hold, and a very flexible wrist, we're able to play all 3 strings at once without making a horrible noise. So I will practice that, keeping it very round all the time. And then all these circles. That will really help to get the sound. Without pushing, we never push, we just go round with the motions. Okay? So again, of course, we tune first and then we do the progression. Personally, to finish this piece, I like going up on the G string. I think most violinists do it these days. Bringing the elbow up, violin up. What a nice way to finish the piece. Now, to give you some extra pro tips, as I always do, I would always think about timing. The timing of this piece is one of the most important things you can explore. From the very beginning, you want to have the character, but also the sensibility of the different harmonies. So, which notes are we going to vibrate? Using the harmonics as an opposite. This. So all those different bits. That's how we can pull the tempo. Same thing with the Allegro. Most of it is pretty much in tempo, but when we get to the Cadenza, have as much variety and freedom and have fun with it. And try many different ways, because this is a real pro tip. If you try many different ways that you might like, even if you don't like them, just try different ways, because then if you have a few different options on the day of the performance, you will see how you feel about it and how you want to express it at that moment. To be honest, I always play this section very differently. Sometimes I play it much faster, sometimes I play it much slower, and it just depends on my mood. It depends on the situation. If I'm playing in a big concert hall or a smaller concert hall, it will be very different depending on the response from the audience. Explore making it a little bit slower or faster. So I hope this is helpful, and I hope you enjoyed this piece. And if you have any questions about this piece or any other piece, please don't hesitate to write it in the comments. And then I'll try to make a video out of it, or I'll give you a response or whatever I can. And if there's any other piece that you might be interested, please don't hesitate to write it in the comments, and I'll try my best to make a tutorial as soon as I can. Thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and stay tuned for more video tutorials like this.